Good morning, everybody. Phi Farley here. May 10th. We are back at a travel day in baseball, but a big slate of games to get to. Interesting movement today. Interesting action on dogs. What's funny is we're seeing positive movement for dogs like the Padres, the Reds, the Nationals, the Twins, the Mariners, but not dogs like Boston, Milwaukee, San Francisco, dogs that I would have thought would have got more action and more movement towards them, but that's not the way the lines are moving, even though there's been some favorable action on the wagering on their side. So, interesting, something to be aware of and something to keep following here throughout the day. I have one game I want to get to. I think that's the way I'm going to do my videos. I'm trying to cram a lot of information into these videos, and it's just creating a very long video that ends up omitting a lot of the good information. So I'm going to stick to one game that I'm going to cap, and then any other picks I'll put down in the comments. So let's get right to that video, or right to that pick I have. So I'm taking the Kansas City Royals traveling to Baltimore Orioles. Of course, it's really hard to back the Orioles at all. It's becoming a little bit easier to back the Royals, even though they're not always easy to back either. Orioles are 9-27, Royals are 12-24. But today we have Chris Tillman, who's gotten absolutely shelled this season, while Ian Kennedy has had a pretty good year, especially for Ian Kennedy's standards. He's 1-3 with a 2.92 ERA. His shortcoming is that he's not getting a lot of run support while he's on the mound. But here's what I want to get to. They both have a lot of experience in the league, 11 years and 9 years respectively. So there's a lot of at-bats from the opposing teams that have been logged. Let's look at what Chris Tillman has done against this Royals lineup. There are 5 guys that have more than 10 at-bats for the Royals, and quite a bit more than that. And they have a lot of success against Tillman. Escobar's 8 of 23, hitting 348. Goins is 10 of 31, hitting 323. Moustakas and Perez are both 6 of 16, hitting 375. And then Alex Gordon, the only one with not success, is 3 of 15, but with 2 home runs, hitting 200 against Tillman. If you add in their collective lineup, they're hitting 319 against Tillman this season. Not this season, over their careers. And 5 home runs, 16 RBIs, and 119 at-bats. Ian Kennedy, the Orioles have a 314 batting average against him. However, it's a much smaller sample size. The only 2 batters that have had significant experience against Ian Kennedy are 2 of 19, Pedro Alvarez, hitting 105, and then Colby Rasmus, who's 2 of 11, hitting 182. Other than that, it's kind of spotty. Adam Jones is 4 of 8, which is good, but there's only 1 home run that he's ever given up to this lineup here in Baltimore. Now, I want to take a quick step back and look at these 2 teams. They're on opposite trajectories. Baltimore Orioles are 6-11 at home. Kansas City Royals 6-11 on the road. No favorite there. Offensive production, 127 runs this season for the Orioles. The Royals, on the other hand, 144 runs, 196 runs given up. The Orioles, 205 runs given up. The Orioles have never won back-to-back games this season. They won yesterday, and now we have game 2 of a 3-game series. They've only won 2 of their last 10. They only won 1 of their last 7. The Royals, on the other hand, have won 6 of their last 10. They won 5 of the last 7. They're on a different trajectory here than the Orioles. The last thing I wanted to get to is we have 2 righties on the mound versus righties. The Royals are hitting 252. Meanwhile, the Orioles are hitting just 222. They are 28th in baseball, the very bottom here against righties. Meanwhile, the Orioles are a little above average in the league. So I'm going to back that offense, that experience behind the pitching of Ian Kennedy, which I will mention. Ian Kennedy had a terrible outing at Camden last year, giving up 8 runs on just 4 innings. So he has had bad experience there. But I'm still going to back the Royals and their production versus Tillman and his lack of production in Baltimore. So there's my one pick. It's at a -110, Kansas City Royals. Good luck, everybody. See you again soon.